Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that we're going to talk about today is something that snuck under the radar. While Biden's brain was malfunctioning, Alvin Bragg and Mayor Adams in New York decided to send a little love note to the Supreme Court around their precious ghost gun bans and how they're pleading and begging not to have them destroyed from on high. Everything that I'm about to show you is going to be linked in the description box below. You guys are going to love every second of this because we are winning nonstop. As Trump said, you're going to win so much you get tired of winning. Well, he wasn't talking to us, but we sure will take it. Of course, guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. And if you want to spread that freedom to the next generation, we'd love to have you along for the ride. All right, beautiful people, a little bit of an announcement. Last night, I did a video that was a cringe level 1000 with Kamala Harris, and it actually had a video clip of Kamala Harris being extremely cringy. She's the Vice President of the United States, so what did YouTube do? They decided to copyright claim me and then cut that little clip out. So if you saw that video, it was missing. That was not me. That was YouTube. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Braden, capital L-O-A, and we will be able to disseminate this information far and wide to get around the efforts of control across the board. And with that said, I hope to see you on there because it is a blast, particularly right now. But let's get into what the video is about. Mayor Adams and District Attorney Bragg urged the Supreme Court uphold common sense ghost gun regulation. Well, you know, Alvin Bragg sure is well known to all of us because he's the guy who convicted Trump of 34 felonies that he made up out of whole cloth and then convinced the jury to do it. Well, now they're going after the Supreme Court in order to support the ghost gun bans because the SCOTUS decided to take up the ghost gun bans after the Fifth Circuit said, yeah, you can't do this. That's unconstitutional. Let me show you some of the things they're saying here because this is just, man, if you get tired of winning, yeah, just pick a different side because we be winning a lot. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, co-chair of Mayors Against Illegal Guns, and Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg Jr. today announced the filing of an amicus brief for the United States Supreme Court in Garland v. Vanderstock. Now, of course, that is the case with ghost guns, which we've been covering for over 2 years now. The announcement is in support of federal regulations issued by the ATF that require ghost gun parts to have serial numbers and compel background checks for prospective buyers of ghost gun home assembly kits. Now, you guys know as well as I do, and everyone watching this video, that ghost guns are called frames and receivers. They're not finished and completed firearms, so they don't need a background check. That's what the Fifth Circuit Court upheld. But that's not going to stop the Adams administration and Alvin Bragg from sending letters in effort to support at the Supreme Court ghost gun bans. And don't worry, every time for gun safety is poking in its head in here too, and I have a little theory about that one we're going to cover in a second. But let me show you here, because we know it's unconstitutional, but let's continue. This is the actual amicus brief. Brief of the District Attorney for New York County and the City of New York as amici curiae in support of petitioners. So, this is an amicus brief. This is saying, please, please, please don't let them hurt me. Don't let the bad men in the Fifth Circuit hurt me. You get the idea. I don't want to get banned. I had a good joke, though. So here's what they said in this part. This is everything. This is frames and receivers. This is what they call ghost guns. This is what they call common sense. This has Chevron deference in it. Check this out. The tapestry of freedom that we are weaving together is beautiful. And here's where they start to angle now. Check this out. Upholding the final rule and preserving its protections would thus further Congress's intent, Chevron deference, hold on, to provide, quote, support to local law enforcement officials in their fight against crime and violence from the Gun Control Act of 1968. That right there is where Chevron deference was used by the ATF to determine Congress's intent, as they say right there, and then enact gun control policies. They are referencing old language, which is no longer even applicable from the Chevron deference older case to now Chevron doctrine is gone because of the Looper Enterprises case, which demolished it from orbit. They are now saying, but local law enforcement officials in their fight against crime and violence, that's not subjective. Because by that exact same argument, you could say, we need to have no people in New York City because of the support for local law enforcement. It doesn't matter if it's unconstitutional. We should have no-knock warrants. It doesn't matter if it's unconstitutional. We should have stop and frisk. Now, these are all hypotheticals, but do you see my point? Because, after all, Congress's intent, as we determine it, was to help local law enforcement. This is why they freaked out about Chevron deference. Do you think that's going to hold up? All right, one more thing for you, and then I'm going to wrap this. Let me show you the powerful conclusion that they put in this amicus brief, because they mean business, guys. Look at this. Conclusion. The court should reverse the decision of the Fifth Circuit. Wow. Really tied your points together. Nice one. And it's all linked right down there. But now I want to get you to the last part. In this part, I find, you know when you smell a rat and you just kind of go, I smell a rat, but I can't pinpoint it? Yeah. Everytown for Gun Safety, Giffords.org, all the gun controlling auspices, they're utilizing executive and official positions inside blue states to do the bidding for them in order to get to the Supreme Court from a state office. They're not an elected official. They're not an elected office. They don't have the power of government in the state, in the gun control groups. So what they're doing is they're leaning on elected officials and their blue bastions like this. Check this out. This guy might sound familiar. Quote, in recent years, ghost guns have become the weapon of choice for criminals nationwide. They have no place in our communities, said Nick Saplina, Senior Vice President for Law and Policy at Everytown for Gun Safety. Huh, weird. Quote, make no mistake, the ATF was right to confirm the core building blocks of ghost guns are firearms under the law. That's stupid and idiotic. The core building of firearms would be metal. Is metal against the law? No. Anyway, let's continue. The Supreme Court should reverse the Fifth Circuit's reckless decision seeking to strike down this rule, and we thank Mayor Adams and District Attorney Bragg for their work to protect the innocent people from further harm caused by these untraceable weapons. If you cannot see what Everytown for Gun Safety is doing right here through Alvin Bragg, through Mayor Adams, through all the different Governor Hochul, they have them on speed dial, and they've infiltrated into their actual administrations, and they're using them as figureheads to send their gun control propaganda directly to the Fifth Circuit, directly to the Supreme Court, directly to federal agencies. This is how this is working, guys. They are working through the back channels and basically using the governmental heads as figure pieces to push their gun control propaganda. We've seen it in multiple instances, and here is yet another one. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.